Y'all, cue John Legend. I'm ready to go right now because they did. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to F Around and Find Out Season 3, Episode 4 Ghosted. Ah! They got like the way that they ran up out of there, like they was running from the law. I hollered. Let's talk about it. If you guys are brand new to the channel, or you are a returning viewer that is just not yet subscribed, I don't know why. I don't know why you're mad at me. I don't know why we beefing, because the views are viewing and y'all are not subscribing. I'll wait. Hit the subscribe button, thumbs up the video. Like, let's get the likes up. Y'all not liking the content? Let's get the likes up and then let's leave our spoiler free comments down below. I had to block like 5 of y'all. I hated to do it. We did not like having to do that, but I told y'all what was going to happen. He came and stuck y'all asses. Stop leaving spoilers in the chat. I promise it's not hard. It's not hard. Don't ruin the experience for not only me, but for your fellow commenter, okay? We are family here in the Tamily, and we do not spoil things, all right? So subscribe, thumbs up, type away a spoiler-free comment. Let's get to the episode. So it starts off with Sandy and JR. They one step away. They are one scene away from the black and white, y'all. I promise you. So she said that the moment that she left the apartment this morning, she ran into Nick. I said, oh God. So she said that Nick cannot handle his emotions and Nick cannot handle his emotions for the process now, even though he brought them to it. You, Nick Bob, Nick way, Nick a day, okay? Nicholas, Saint Nick, you brought us to this process. But now that I got somebody that I'm feeling that I'm engaged with, that I'm connecting to, you can't handle it. And like I'm gonna keep saying, but Nick has been all up in Vanessa face. I don't understand it. So JR looked kind of shook when Sandy was like, I told Nick that we kissed. JR was really looking like, damn, I hope it doesn't get back to Zaynab. That's what was going through his mind. So JR was like, yeah, this gonna cause a shitstorm. This gonna cause a shitstorm. So let's time out. I made a comment in my last video that I said that JR is well spoken, right? I said that he is well dressed. Some of y'all took offense to that. It's giving racist to me, to be real. Here's the thing, just because you do not like what somebody says does not take away from them being well spoken. He is not stuttering. He uses proper grammar. He's not speaking with ebonics. He's not using a lot of slang. That man is well spoken. Just because you don't like what he is saying does not mean a person is not well spoken. Y'all got to get out of that. Y'all got to stop that. Somebody said that I was offended and I was a mammy because I said that JR is well dressed. He has not looked sloppy. His clothes have all been pressed. Like what what am I missing? What am I missing? What's wrong with y'all? So y'all do the most in the comments. Y'all do the most. Y'all been getting picked off and blocked one by one. Try to comment, it won't be there because you've been blocked. You know who you are. I will not say your name and embarrass you. But let's continue. So Sandy said that before her and Nick came to the show, they were doing a lot of arguing back and forth. And now that she has told him that they kissed, her and JR, he has been harassing her, basically. He's calling her incessantly, he's texting her. When she does answer, he just hangs up. I said, I told y'all Nick was crazy. He gives crazy, right? So JR is like, look, well, I told Zaina that I'm okay with her being with another attractive guy. JR and Zaina are given, they couldn't wait to find a reason to break up. So JR said, I know what we signed up for and I'm okay with it. We pan over to Mariah. Mariah comes home and Micah isn't there. She's looking for Micah. Micah's not there. All of Micah's stuff is gone, and even the book that he lent her to read. Don't lend me something and then take it back before I have a chance to read it. We pan over to Nick. So Nick is in his apartment. He's looking for Vanessa. All of her stuff is gone. Now, because I'm like, messy, I'm like, dang, did Micah and Vanessa link up? But no. We see a message flash on the screen that Dave, Vanessa, Micah, and Chanel all secretly met up, okay, earlier that day, and then surveillance footage caught them packing up all their belongings. Y'all, they panned to that surveillance footage and the way that they was picking up TVs and wrapping shit up. I said, "Is that your TV? Is that your TV?" Hollered. Them people got the fuck up out of here. Here's the thing though. Chanel, you brought Micah to this process. No. Yeah. Chanel, you brought Micah to this process because you want to be married. He kept telling you it's not the right time, it's not the right time, it's not the right time. Vanessa, you brought Dave. Dave is not ready to be married too. What has changed? I hope they bring them to the reunion. I would love to know. But we find out that they have left the experience. They didn't tell nobody, they didn't get nobody a goodbye hug, no nothing. And that was it. So now we have Nick and Mariah that are alone. Nick feels away because he was feeling Vanessa. So now he's even more like upset that at the fact that Sandy is linking up with JR because how dare she have somebody and I don't have anybody. That's what it's given. Sandy is pissed that Vanessa left and says she lost a lot of respect for her. Find some of the respect that you lost for her and get it for yourself. You don't respect yourself, Sandy. Not the way that you've been throwing your cooch at JR every chance you get, while then having the audacity to flaunt it in front of Nick. And I don't even like Nick's ass, but you are still being rude to him. So Nick and Mariah meet up, and I'm like, okay, y'all gonna link up, y'all gonna connect. No. They talk about what happened and they decide we're not going to do this. We are still going to go through this experience by ourselves. Now, Nick feels abandoned and hurt and all this other type of stuff. And my thing is, it's not simply because his partner in the experience left. It's because he really liked Vanessa. And Vanessa was a woman that wanted to be married the same way that he did. Whew, this was a lot. So they decide that they are not going to move in together. They're not going to live together. They are going to continue through the experience solo and they're going to lean on each other for support. Why don't y'all just link up so that y'all can still do the trial marriage? Y'all don't have to hug and kiss or any of that type of stuff, but I do think that they should have linked up together. We then see Zaina and Scotty. So they go for a walk, okay? And she's asking him if he has any doubts on them being, or he asks her if she had any doubts about them being compatible. She was like, I got doubts now, as a little joke, whatever the case. Then they pan out and we see this nigga got on Nike socks and Adidas shoes. He looked like one of them. Ugh. Ugh. Disgusted. Disgusted. No, Nike socks, Nike shoes, Adidas socks, Adidas shoes. What is wrong with people that do that? I'm old school. I'm an 80s baby, 90s kid. That is floss flagging to me. We do not do that. So Zaina is saying how they're so comfortable with one another, and she feels that this transition has been very seamless. And she said, "Girl, sky is the limit." I said, "Oh, okay." Whoa, okay. So Aria and Caleb. So she likes that he's so different from Scotty. Caleb is so cute and adorable. Now, Caleb does talk a little slow. I he, I be wanting to say, "Come on, Caleb, come on," but he's very intentional with his words, so I do appreciate that about him. So Caleb is worried about Mariah being left alone, and Aria likes the fact that he's so calm. He has a calmness about himself. He's very sure of himself, and he is very like intentional and intuitive when it comes to Mariah. So she's a little worried though that because Mariah is by herself, that Caleb is not going to fully immerse himself in this experience. So we talk about how Arya's parents split while she was in college. She found out doing her FAFSA. So she called her mom to get some information. Her mom said, "Oh, duh, I forgot to tell you, me and your dad are split." She then goes on to say that her parents had an open relationship for a point in time. Caleb was like, "Yep, not doing that. Don't even ask." And Aria was like, "Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to do it either. I'm just telling you." So Caleb is asking, has that like fed into some of your trust issues with guys? And Aria is like, it has, but I now know that nice guys are out there. And whether or not Aria and Caleb end up together or she goes back to Scotty, I think that Aria is learning how she wants and how she needs to be loved. And that's the important part about this. I think they're cute together. I think they're cute together. I think what's going to end up happening is Arya is going to start to develop feelings for Caleb because he does seem like a very genuine, nice guy. And I hope that he develops feelings back for her because I think they would be cute together. JR and Sandy. So they go bowling. They kind of bowling with their like little miniature bowling ball. So they decide that if she wins, she wants him to make her dinner, whatever she wants. If he wins, she has to go to sleep in one of his shirts. I said, oh, and nothing else. Nothing else, just the shirt. I said, oh, okay, because they are so full of lust that all they want to do is sleep with each other, right? He cannot wait to get her into bed. So while they're bowling, he's slapping her on the ass and all this other kind of stuff. It's a lot of babes and wifeys and boos and honey bunches of oats. I said, y'all are real, real comfortable. It's interesting. It's interesting to me. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, what are we doing? So he asks her if he has done anything that has annoyed her. This weird ass heifer is like, yeah, you do your laundry separate. I'm the type of girl that I like to do everything together. I'm like a housewife. I want us to do everything together. And I was like, okay. So you mad? You're annoyed that he washes his drawers separate from yours? Okay, sis. Okay. So he likes that she wants to be this like housewife because he's very unorganized and he wants some more organization. He's saying that he did not have that with Zaina. That was a dagger. That was a dagger. Okay. So she then said that she wants to share food on a date, and he was like, no. If I got a steak, just get your own steak. But he in turn wants to bring a food scale to the restaurant. No, if you got to do all that, we're not going out to eat. But what you're not gonna do is if we are at a nice dinner, pull out a fucking food scale and start slicing up your steak and then weighing it. No, no, not with me. He wants to be with a woman that is okay with that and accepts that. No, I don't know anybody that is going to be accepting of you going to a nice restaurant or going to any restaurant and you pulling out a food scale. You better learn how to eyeball that shit. Nope, 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 nope. So he is in his confessional and he is saying that he respects the fact that Sandy did not want to leave the process, even though Nick has left, or even though Nick is now alone because Vanessa left. So even though Nick has been calling and texting incessantly, Sandy's not budging. You know why? Because Sandy is full of lust. Her loins are warm. That's what she wants. She wants to hop up on that. Okay, that's why. So Zaina and Scotty, so they are talking and they're at like a dinner, and he asks, would she ever consider going back to the East Coast? So she must be from the East Coast. And she was like, no, I've been in LA for so long that I feel like this is where I want to be, go back to visit, but she doesn't want to move back. So Scotty is like, okay, great, because I am based in LA and he wants his family to be close, the family that he builds. He wants his kids to know their grandmother and stuff like that. So he is very, very firm on being in LA. So their dinner comes out, their food comes out, and he's like, I've noticed that you sidestep emotion. He said you either change the subject or you use humor to mask it. And he was like, it's probably because you in a relationship with somebody that has been slower to open up to you. So you feel the need to kind of hide your emotions. Don't therapize me over dinner, sir. No. But she likes it. And he was like, I know that you are an emotional person. So he's like, you just haven't found the right person to open up to yet. And I can be that for you. Baby, I can be that. I said, oh. Oh, he is laying it on thick. Where is the little violin? Okay. So Scotty gives the vibe that he just wants to be married. He don't care who it's to or how it goes. He just wants to say that he's a husband. So he thinks that they are extremely compatible. He also thinks that he is extremely compatible with Arya. He says, so I'm expecting to come out engaged at the end. And if I don't want to have to deal with the fact that I might be the problem. Nigga, you are. I think you are the problem, Scotty. I think you are the problem, okay? So Arya and Caleb. So they're in their living room, and everything about their house, their apartment just seems very serene and calm. Like, I'm imagining, like, they got a koi pond over to the side. You could just hear water trickling. But they're sitting on the couch and they are both doing some work together. Very, very, very calm, very serene, very. I felt like I was too loud when I was eating my Doritos while I watched. I began to pop a chip in and because I was disrupting them, right? So she asked Caleb if he is someone that feels the need to get the last word. He was like, "No, I'll be quiet." That was so funny to me. No, I'll be quiet. It's cool. So she points out that she might not be vocal enough with her appreciation for Scotty and everything that he does. And Caleb is like, look, Scotty should know that, or Scotty should not need somebody to praise him for doing what is good. It should be something that he just does. And like I said, I think I said last video that Scotty is a person that wants that praise, he wants that attention. So Caleb then talks about how Mariah has this type of love that a mother has for her child, unconditional. And I kind of zoned out. Not even gonna hold y'all. I kind of zoned out during this particular conversation because I didn't quite understand what Caleb was talking about. But what I gather from it is I think he might feel smothered by Mariah. Like he has mentioned a time or two before that she is very codependent and that he is interested in being with a woman or seeing what it's like to be with a woman that is not as codependent. So I think that because Mariah didn't have that type of freedom and love and stuff from her mother, she has kind of adapted that type of personality, that type of love where you're just like smothering, and that's what she is putting onto Caleb. And I don't know if he necessarily likes it. So I like that they are building a really, really solid relationship. They are so cute together. I know I shouldn't be, but I am rooting for them. Oh my God. I'm rooting for them. We then pan back over to Sandy and JR. So they are calling each other babe. Pass me that babe. We cooking with my wifey. I'm like, y'all are. I don't. You know what? It's time. It's time because they getting on my nerves. Boom. Okay. So they're sitting outside. He cooked dinner, and Jr. is saying in his confessional that sharing a marriage with her is magical, something he can't even explain. Fairy dust, fairy dust, and I'm like, I. So they talk about kids. She wants girls because she wants to have a daughter so she can have the same type of relationship with her daughter that she has with her mother. JR wants three boys and a girl. He's not ready for kids yet. Now, I believe he's what, 32, 33. He said by the time he gets 40, 40 water, E40, a 40 ounce. That is when he will be ready for kids. I was like, wow. Um, Okay. He said because that's when he feels that he will be in a space where he can be a dad and he can spend time with kids. Here is the thing though, a woman's biological clock is ticking, right? We know, like, I think Zaina said it this episode too. When a woman is 35 years old, you are considered a geriatric pregnancy. You're considered high risk. Black women in general, we are high risk every time we go to the doctor. Wow, I don't know what he's gonna do about that. That's interesting. That's interesting. So while they are eating dinner on the balcony, having a good time, y'all, they look out. Why is Nick ass down there looking up at them? When she got up, I jumped too because oh my god, like can he see y'all? I was asking all the same questions Sandy was. So JR said that he was sitting on a bench facing them. Whoa. Okay, that is crazy. So we then pan over to Nick and he is angry painting in his apartment. All I can think about is okay, have y'all seen the movie Acrimony? If you have, maybe. Okay. If you have seen the movie Acrimony, remember when Taraji's character, like after the wedding, and she was in, no, and not after the wedding, after she got that money and she was in there reeling and like on a bender, drinking and dancing and stuff all wild. That's what I was picturing when Nick, he was just, I said, you mad, ain't you? You mad, ain't you? You brought her to this process, Nick, Bob. You did this on the corner of F around and find out. I'll meet you there, okay? So, Nick said that it is human to want to leave this experience. And if you are somebody that has not thought about leaving this experience, that scares him. He's mad because Sandy hasn't thought about leaving the experience. That's what it is. We pan over to Scotty and Zaina, and they are playing basketball. Now, I don't know if Zaina played basketball previously in life, like high school or college, but she's making all her baskets, and Scotty's old bum ass, because he's wearing Nike socks with Adidas shoes, is not making any of his shots. None of them, okay? So they decide that they're going to play a game, and whoever makes a basket, they get to ask the other person any question they want. Zaina, of course, makes her basket, and she asks him if there was one thing in time he wishes that he could go back and change. He was like, "That's a deep question. Do you want a deep answer?" Yes. So when Scotty was a teenager, he got a speeding ticket. When he came home, hold on, y'all. When he came home, his father was yelling at him, disciplining him, whatever the case. Scotty was upset by that, so when he left to go to the gym, his father said, "I love you." He didn't say it back. The next morning, his father passed away. So, presumably, when he got home, his father was asleep. But his father passed away, and he kind of regrets that. One thing that I have never done and I will never do is anytime somebody says, whether a friend, a family member, my parents, whoever, "I love you, Tammy," I always say it back. I always say it back because you never know. And so he said that that is something that has weighed heavily on him and he had to deal with for a while. And I can imagine how heavy that is. Especially as a teenager. You're a child. You're a kid. I felt bad for him. I did. I hope that he has gotten the proper healing um from that situation. So we then see Arya and Caleb, and they're having a little spa night, okay? So they're doing facials, they're doing like eye masks. She was massaging his hair. Oh, say, oh, they gonna kiss, they gonna kiss. They getting close to y'all. I can feel it. I can feel it. The way that they look at each other is of two people that like are starting to catch feelings. You can tell they're doing this experience the right way. They are. You can tell. So they're building such a strong friendship. They're open, they're vulnerable, they're talking through the hard things. They're talking about their exes and their relationships, but they're also talking about what they will want in a future relationship. Oh my god, I love them together. Can we ship them? Can they be Kalaria? Kalaria, okay? So then we pan over to this. Junior, JR, and Sandy are outside by the pool. Okay. He asked her what song describes her. She said bossy. I said by Khalees. Is that Khalees? Khalees sings bossy, right? Jesus. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Khalees sings bossy. Am I tripping? I feel like I don't want all the. It's not Khalees. Yes, Khalees sings bossy. So he was like, bossy? And she was like, yeah, because I'm a boss babe. He was like, yeah, you give CEO vibes. I said, does she? Okay. Okay. So they start talking about infidelity in relationships once again. And Sandy feels that she sees a different version of JR than we feel. She feels that, we don't know JR the way that she knows JR. And there's a different level to him that he just hasn't allowed anyone else to see. Sandy is sitting in her confessional and says she loves him. Girl, what? It has been 3 days. So they are, I wrote, they are dating like this is Love is Blind. They hugging and kissing and rubbing and touching. I said, y'all are in relationships. This is crazy. I don't think, and I have seen all of the US versions of this show. I have never seen somebody have this soon. This is crazy. So he wants them to do everything together. Let's spend more time together. Even though we have separate cars, let's just drive around together. I said, nigga, what? He wants to be in her skin. So they kiss, okay? And then next thing you know, they get back to the apartment and we see his booty cheeks and they are about to go to Pound Town. I said, day 4, huh? This is lust. Wow. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode 4, just 4. Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.